Have you ever asked yourself, am I old now? When your eyes grow dimmer, your back aches a little more each morning, your memory fades a bit with each passing year. It's easy to think that aging is the end of vitality. But that's not the whole truth. If you're listening to this video right now, it means you still have something truly precious, life, and the will to live it well. Aging isn't about decline. It's about awakening to what really matters. I'm in my 80s now, and if I could go back to when I was 60, there are 7 things I'd do differently. This video isn't meant to make you feel guilty. It's a gentle reflection, maybe even a reminder that no matter where you are today, you still have time to shape your story. Let's begin with the first one. First, I wish I had taken better care of my friendships. At 60, I thought I'd have plenty of time to catch up, plenty of time to call old friends, visit the ones who mattered, or simply say, I miss you. But life has a way of pulling us in different directions. Kids grow up, routines change, and before you know it, years go by without a single phone call to the people who once knew your soul. Now that I'm older, I see it clearly. Loneliness doesn't come from being alone. It comes from forgetting how deeply we need each other and not reaching out when we should have. If you're in your 60s or 70s and you still have a friend you haven't talked to in a while, please don't wait. Make the call, send the letter, share the laugh, because one day you'll realize it wasn't the big milestones you missed most. It was the small, ordinary moments with people who made you feel alive. 2, I wish I had spoken more kindly to my body. I spent decades telling my body it wasn't enough. Too heavy, too tired, too slow, too wrinkled. But looking back now, I see how unfair that was. This body has carried me through everything. Joy, heartbreak, loss, love, children, nights of crying, mornings of hope. And instead of gratitude, I gave it criticism. At 60, I still had time to walk more gently, to eat more mindfully, to rest without guilt. But I didn't. Now, I speak to my body like an old friend. I say thank you instead of why aren't you better? And if you're listening now, I hope you will too. Your body hears everything you say, so speak like you're talking to someone who's done their very best for you every single day. Let's continue. These next reflections are not meant to weigh on your heart. They're here so that you may lighten the years ahead by understanding what so many of us only realize too late. We've talked about friendship and the body. Now let's look deeper into the choices we often dismiss until it's almost too late. 3, I wish I had said I'm sorry and sooner and more often. At 60, you think you'll always have tomorrow. You think, I'll make things right one day, or they already know I love them. But sometimes one day never comes. There are people I loved deeply but lost touch with, not because of big fights, but because of silence that grew too long, pride that lasted too many seasons. Now I look back and realize the apology doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. Sometimes it's not even about saying I was wrong. It's about saying you mattered, and I wish we hadn't let time carry us apart. If you're holding on to something heavy, a regret, a grudge, a moment you wish you could undo, maybe now is the time. Not because it changes the past, but because it softens the future. 4, I wish I had lived more simply. At 60, I still wanted more stuff, a newer car, better furniture, a prettier kitchen. I thought these things would make me feel secure, respected, young again. But over time, the very things I owned began to own me. The closets filled. The house felt heavy. The joy faded quickly. What I truly needed, what all of us need, was space to breathe and time to enjoy it. Now I live in a smaller home. I wear fewer clothes, I eat simpler meals, and I've never felt more light. I wish I had simplified sooner, because I now understand. Peace isn't found in what you buy. It's found in what you no longer feel the need to chase. 5, I wish I had protected my emotional energy more wisely. At 60, I still spent too much time trying to please people, saying yes to events I didn't enjoy, holding back my real thoughts to avoid conflict, letting toxic relatives disturb my peace just because they were family. No one ever told me, you're allowed to walk away from what drains you. You don't have to pick up every call. You don't have to tolerate unkindness. You don't have to keep the peace at the cost of your own well-being. Now, in my 80s, I'm more careful about who I let into my space. I protect my mornings, I avoid gossip, I speak more gently, and only when I feel it's worth saying. If you're still in your 60s or 70s, hear this from me. Your peace is sacred. Guard it. 6. I wish I had spent more time outdoors. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But when I was younger, I spent so much time inside. I worked, I watched TV, I scrolled through screens. I let seasons pass without even noticing the color of the trees or the warmth of a sunset. Now a simple walk around the block feels like a gift. The rustling of leaves, the feel of morning light, the sound of birds waking up. These are the quiet miracles I overlooked for decades. It's not too late. Open the window, sit on the porch, watch the sky change color in the evening. You don't need to climb mountains. Just be where the sky touches your skin. Let the world remind you that you're still part of something living, breathing, and beautiful. 7. I wish I had given myself permission to be happy. This one might sound strange, but the truth is many of us carry guilt for wanting to feel joy. We tell ourselves we're too old, too tired, too damaged by life, that we need to earn our rest or deserve happiness. I used to think like that too, but joy isn't something to be earned. Joy is a right. A quiet one, but a right nonetheless. It's in a warm cup of coffee, in dancing while no one watches, in laughing at your own bad joke, in singing in the shower even if your voice is off-key. Looking back, I wish I had smiled, more without needing a reason. I wish I had chosen happiness even when it wasn't perfect, because here's the truth, my friend, life is never perfect, but you can still choose to let light in through the cracks. Breathe for a moment. Let these words sink in. These are not the regrets of someone who lived a terrible life. They are the soft echoes of someone who lived a very human life, full of distractions, mistakes, and love. And if you've heard anything in this video that made you pause or whisper, "That's me," then let that be your sign. It's not too late. Not to forgive, not to call, not to dance, not to be at peace. You're still here. And that means you still have time to live without these regrets. So now you've heard them. Not just regrets, but quiet realizations, the kind that often come only when we sit still enough to feel them. If you're still listening, it means you've felt a flicker of recognition somewhere in your heart. Maybe you've whispered, "That sounds like me," or maybe you've remembered a name, a moment, or a choice that still sits quietly in your memory. Let me tell you something gently. That doesn't mean you've failed. It just means you've lived. We all look back and wish we'd done some things differently. That's part of being human. But the beauty of being here now, listening to this, is that it's not too late to live forward, a little lighter, because you can still call someone you've drifted from. Take a walk just to watch the sky. Throw away something that no longer brings you peace. Say, "I'm sorry." Say, "I miss you." Or simply say, "I deserve to feel okay even now." If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, please know, you are not invisible, you are not a burden, and you are not out of time. You are still capable of connection, of laughter, of late-life purpose. You are the keeper of memories that someone needs to hear. You are the gentle wisdom that someone younger hasn't yet found. You are proof that aging isn't a decline, it's a deeper blooming. So I invite you, with no pressure, no rush, to take just one of these 7 regrets, and do something small even today to ease its weight. And if you've already lived with some of these regrets for a long time, then forgive yourself, fully. Because the past may be unchangeable, but your peace is still possible. You're not alone, not here, not ever. This space, this video, this moment was created for you. A gentle reminder that you're still living a story worth telling. So if this message touched you, pass it on to a friend, a parent, a neighbor, Or just keep it in your heart for those quiet moments. We'll be here again soon with another reflection, another story, not to teach, but simply to walk beside you. Until then, stay kind to yourself and live this chapter with softness. You've earned it. See you next video.